for me a pleasure to hear it for the first time when I was here, not only according to books, but to hear it, if I can hear. Okay. One of the features also of this monastery is surviving of the local hagiographical tradition. As you know that here was the only monastery in Middle and Upper Egypt, hence what we have in the printed book reflects the traditions of Lower Egypt, mainly St. Macarius. The monastery and the manuscript reflect extra tradition of Upper Egyptian hagiographical. So we have to commemorate, for example, Saint Apollo, who is the patron saint of Bawit, and Saint Macrobius, who is the patron saint of Deir Galadla, and what else? And Saint Hermina, the Anacorite, who is the patron saint of another monastery not far from in Suad al-Khina. So we have survival of this local tradition, and till now they are recited in the Memento Sanctorum every day. So every day they mention this local saint. Another important feature of the liturgy of Muharraq is the presence of the Holy Family. As you know, and as you heard, and as you got the icon yesterday, that the presence of the Holy Family, it's master point of this place. It's, as we can say, it's the raison d'être for this monastery. And hence, we find a special veneration for the Holy Family. And the liturgy of the sixth Hatur, which is of the consecration of the church that you can hear here, has special hymns that didn't survive, and for special, and as we know that our late Father Gerard Vieux published an article in 1966 about the procession of the Holy Cross, and in this procession he compared one from Baramos and one from Muharraq Monastery. And in Muharraq Monastery they have special stations they stop and read which related to the Holy Family, such as the tomb of Moses, who according to a tradition he was a friend of Joseph the Carpenter, and is buried on the northern part of the church. And this tradition survived till last 20 years. They have special sessions that are not mentioned anywhere, and they have to stop in this and read some, and even the Ethiopian monks who are here, and I think that one of the colleagues will talk about the Ethiopian monks here, up to the last one was 20 years ago here, we used to pray on this prayer, saying, yes, this is a tomb of Moses, and it was also an oral tradition transmitted in Ethiopia to the monastery here. So this is another feature. And I have to say that only 2 churches in Egypt commemorate the consecration of their church and related to the Holy Family. The one is 6 Hatur, which the Virgin Mary here in Muharraq, and the other one is 26 of Bauna, Church of 16 of Misra, Al-Mahamma, which is Mustorod, north of Cairo, just 30 kilometers north of Cairo. Another feature of the rites of the liturgy for the Nile. And nowadays it has changed, but before, if you go to the top of the building where we are, and you can see there are some fields, and the name of Muharraq, because this part of fields, the Nile arrived to certain part. So at that time, which is the feast of the cross 16 of Tut, the monks used to go to the last part where the Nile, the flood reach, and make a special rite for there. And this liturgy now disappeared with high dam, but it was living up to the 60s. They go and they have this part, and that's why the name of Muharraq, because the area here, the water didn't reach the water, so they called it dry soil, which came from Arabic haraka, burn, that means the burn, or mahruqa, which it is burned soil, that means it's not good for agriculture. And now we have to talk about the church. Okay, so I will just give a hint, and it will be in the text of about Turuhat. So the book manuscript 323 Coptic Museum, folio 161. Oh, it's not here. Here is the translation. So you have here the description, and as I have only 5 minutes to talk, you can read the translation while I'm talking about other things. So this is a book of the Fnar related to the 6 months of Ustan. As you can see, the text, it doesn't make any, you can read the text here, it doesn't have any relation with Muharraq. This text was composed, according to my assumption, late, perhaps 18th, 19th century. While in the other text, for example, there is an Arabic tarh, and normally when you compare, normally you give a preference to the Coptic. But here we have the Coptic, it's a patchwork from a late patchwork taken from other liturgical texts, while in the Arabic give more details and highlight special specific. It's important to say, for example, that in this Coptic text, normally for the consecration of the altar, we're talking about the agiasmos, while in this text, it's used Khirdonin. Khirdonin, it's a consecration, but a consecration of a patriarch, not an altar. And here is the difference. And I think, I can't assume, but I think that the author of this text had under his eyes a scala, a Coptic scala, and he found what's the word for consecration. So he found 2 words, he chose one without having a knowledge and background of the text. The first term is I compared with the Sahelic antiphonarium with the Buharic, and all agreed with this. So here are some texts that you can read it in the publication. And to conclude, that the liturgy of Muharraq Monastery kept very special features, and I believe that we have a lot to do to discover local traditions in all Egypt, especially Upper Egypt, that was considered for a while as lost or disappeared. But now we can see that underneath there are a lot survived. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Dr. Youhanna, for your valuable contribution. And we have 5 minutes for questions to Dr.
name of this? I didn't catch the name of this musical instrument. These bells, like
Sung.
sang.
Sung.
Sang. Okay. It's
Sung.
sound. Sound.
I hope that when the liturgy finish, we can ask.
Yeah, it would
Father
be nice
Angelos
to have a
show
look at
you-
it. Yes. And I vaguely remember that Butler writes in the end of the late 19th century that still in the Vanuatu also still bells were used.
Yeah, but no, it's not like bells because it's for the like that. It's just what's called percussion or something.
Aha,
Like that. Yeah, just to time the rhythm.
Aha.
Tak, 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 tak. So they can sing all together, and it will give you. They have three instruments. One, it's called the trianto or the triangle.
Yeah.
It's a kind of triangle,
Yeah,
and,
no, this I know.
and there is the dove, which is something like this,
Yeah.
and this kind of
Aha.
two hemispheres
Would be nice to see
concurrent,
it.
and they use it.
Sound.
Yeah, I hope that one of the father can show us, Father Angelos or Father Ashaya
yes.
can make a demonstration.
Any more question? Yes, please.
I'm a little bit astonished that you didn't mention it really was burned some time ago, this monastery, and that's why you call it Muharraq. Of course, your opinion and your thesis that because of the irrigation, it is a good thing, you know that, but it is mentioned several times that it had been burned, incendié plusieurs fois. Le monastère, the monastery of the Virgin Mary, Muharraq.
Yeah. So, no, not the Pope. So just two answers. In recent years, the monastery undertook renovation, and I hope that we have time to visit the keep here. And there is no traces. They remove all the plaster, and there is no trace for burning or anything. So this is the first argument, the archaeological argument.
So,
The second argument is the monastery also they take archaeological renovation, and as our colleague here, Hag,
yes.
director of the
Yeah.
the inspector in chief of the area, mentioned. Okay, so this is the first thing. The second thing is that even most of the church should in Egypt should be called Muharraq, because most of the church of Egypt had been burned. So it's not something specific.
But
So you can call, for example, Muharraq al-Muharraq.
But it is not.
Abu Sufyan Muharraq.
But most of them, we didn't call it Muharraq.
That's why it's related to the irrigation and the
Yes.
flood of the Nile. This is the two. Thank you.
Thank you. Perhaps the most, why not?
That's the first argument. No, any more questions? So if not, we thank Dr. Youhanna. Now I'd like to invite Father Mark Sheridan. He will speak about John of Lecovis, an important topic, of course.